Why do you think sales and marketing teams are sometimes, possibly often, at loggerheads or misaligned?
I think sometimes like the short-term focus, right? And that sales want leads, so marketing will go out and give them tactical leads, right? And we're forgetting that marketing is more than just leads, right? Marketing involves so many more things. And I think, and again, great marketing and sales aligned teams really understand their buyer. I can't tell you how many personas I get from a marketing team, and they're not fit to purpose for sales because they're really attribute based, demographic based. They're marketing persona, and they have its purpose.
Nothing about marketing, the pains and the jobs to be done.
What are the outcomes for the buyer? Like, what are the KRAs? What are the KPIs? Like, what are the challenges that they face in their role? Right? Why should they consider change? Why should they consider changing now?
Right? Who else are they considering? How else do they solve this problem?
Yeah. And so I think the first place is the ICPs and buyer personas aren't done as a collective, sales and marketing, or marketing and sales and customer success, right? Because they have a unique view on how is the use case. So how are people actually using what we sell them, right? And when you bring all those three together and really look at your ICP and buyer persona and run surveys, go and talk to them. Like I do this every week with clients. We bring in their customers and or people that they want to sell to. So the ideal, if they're looking to chase a different, bring them in, ask them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you take this data and you can start communicating with them differently. And I think that's the first area from an alignment perspective. It's done in silo. That's the first key problem. And then the leads that they're sharing to sales are then saying, these leads aren't good, these are crap, send them back, or we can't convert them. And then it's a blame game, right? Because somebody's then sitting there going, we haven't met our number. Oh, talk to marketing. Mate, I gave you leads.
I gave you the leads, yeah. It's a really interesting one around the buyer persona and the creating those with those three departments in mind, because I think you're right. A lot of the times they are developed from a marketing perspective and demographic, psychographics, who is there, what do they do, rather than always the jobs to be done and the stuff closer to the middle and bottom of the funnel that sales need. They need the insights around what problems are we solving, are they facing, how do they think, what are the barriers, who else is involved. And I like the idea of just bringing them in and asking them. And I think I actually listened to a podcast of yours where you talked about that. I think it was a chief technology officer or someone that you brought in with a client, and they were talking about where they had two different providers or four providers, whittled it down to two, and ended up going for one that was twice as expensive because for him it was about, he told them, we have scope problems, you'll come in and the scope will change and we need someone that's flexible, and that provider listened to that. But yes, and knowing how that CTO thinks, what they buy on. Because if you didn't know that, you might just go straight on price, not actually what's important to that client.
Absolutely. And the problem is, like, sellers will very quickly sell features, right? They'll sell, hey, this is what we do. But at the end of the day, people don't care about what you're selling. They only care about the outcomes that are important to them. And again, if they can't get that connection early in the conversation, they're not going to engage. And that's what great marketing does. And this is why I love like consumer ads, because they don't sell like cars. Like the car, it takes you to point A to B. They sell the outcome. They sell the family, could be the people mover. They're getting in the car, they're packing the back. They that picture of going around the green, and then they get to their destination point. They're all having fun. They're selling the emotion and the experience, right? There's no different to the buyer persona. Is the buyer persona has key goals. There's emotion that's driving that. There's also fear, because if there's risk, if you're listening to this going, geez, I'm not really aligned with sales, or vice versa, get in the same room, get some customers and start talking, right? Because you'd be amazed at what content you'll learn about them. And then you'll start to think differently about your value prop, about your messaging, about your ads, your webinars, your podcasts, whatever content generation you're doing, right? You'll start thinking differently.
You've been listening to Lean Mean Marketing Teams with Ty Hayes. If you love the show, please remember to hit subscribe so that you can discover more tips and strategies to build a high-performance marketing team. And if you're feeling generous, please tell someone about the show who you think would benefit. We're on a mission to help CMOs build their dream team and enable marketers to do their best work. And we appreciate your help in spreading the word.